What's up, everybody? Cody DeQuisto here, and welcome back to the Dying Breed Bowhunter YouTube page. I got a pretty awesome video for you today. I'm stoked. We're getting into all the gear for this year. So over the next couple weeks, I am doing a full breakdown on every piece and component that I am going into the 2024 whitetail season with. So from my stand and sticks to my chest rig and backpack to my bow, arrows, clothing, layers, boots, everything. So we're going to kick this week off with one of my favorite topics, tree stands and sticks. So let's go check it out. All right, we can't talk about mobile whitetail hunting without talking about tree stands and climbing sticks. So this is the bread and butter of the whole system, guys. I'm going to go through it piece by piece with you. I have my full rig here. I've been out a couple times this year already, just really knocking the dust off. And that's kind of something important I like to do every year is I like to get into the field a couple times. I'll get out, I'll run through the motions of a full-on hunt. And it's something I do throughout the season as well, but I really go heavy into my notes. So I take notes on my phone, what went smooth, what didn't, what I can improve on, what I liked about my set, what I didn't, how easy it was to hang, all that stuff. So, and then I just fine tune and tweak. Little things can make the world of a difference. And if you get those kinks worked out, right away at the beginning of the season, you're good to go. Now, throughout the season, I might even throw a curveball and change some things about how I'm filming or how my setup's working. And also, I do change a lot year to year. So I'm constantly testing new products or prototyping things. So my setups are usually pretty ugly. They're not shiny out of the box setups. They're kind of beat up and sometimes Frankenstein. So we're going to go through what I like to run and all the accessories and everything you're going to need to set yourself up a rig just like it. All right, I got my rig, got my gear. Let's go check this out. So I'm going to find a little spot here that we can set everything up and give you a good rundown. Okay, here we go. We got the 0.5 hang on. Now, this is definitely my go-to stand of choice when I'm not testing other models or experimenting with different styles. This is going to be my pick every single time. I think this is the most versatile stand that somebody can get. You know, when designing this thing, I really wanted the perfect size that was the ultimate in compact, lightweight, and mobile, but also a workhorse that could let you hunt anywhere you wanted to go. So my big thing is always that, like, I want to stand on my back that will not limit me in any way, shape, or form with the tree I have to get in or the way I need to hunt. So that is this stand. The 0.5 is, I think, hands down the best stand out there as far as size goes and features, functions, all that. So with that being said, there is a bunch of customizations that I do to my personal 0.5, and that's what I'm going to go through with you today. So let's start off with the seat. So I actually just put this stand together and I grabbed the seat off of one of my old setups from last year and the backpack straps and a couple other things. So this is a current up-to-date 0.5 with just a few modifications. So when you go to buy a 0.5 or any one of the custom gear stands, you have a few different options. You can pick and customize your beam height and also your seat size. So 0.5s are going to come with the smallest seat height that we have, the post height. You can upgrade that to a longer post if you want, but I personally like the standard height. I like where it sits. I don't like to be that high. I want to keep the weight and the profile down as much as possible with all the other little bells and whistles I'm going to add on. So, but the seat, that's one thing that I always go up in. So I like personally the 1.0 seat, which is a large. So that's the biggest seat that we make. I put that on here. Now, I am a sitter, so I'm going to sit 90% of the time. As much as I possibly can, I will be sitting. And we'll talk about that in later videos, but I just love the seated position. I think you're the most stealthy in that position. You're the most stable. You move the less. You know, shooting is easier from a seated position most times for me. And so I love that. Not only do I sit a lot, but having a bigger seat also gives me more of a platform to mod out and you know, strap things to. So as you can see, I kind of, and what we'll go through is I use my seat as, and my whole stand for that matter, as sort of a transportation device for my gear as well. So typically in the past, I didn't run any packs, just a chest rig. Now, you know, filming a little bit more, I might run our smaller half pack, which I'll get into later. But as the season goes on and I take more gear, whether that's an extra pair of boots or, you know, a jacket or something like that, I just really like to use my stand and just strap things to my stand. So it works out really well. So this big seat gives me more surface area for that. With the seat, so as you can see here, so it is a large size seat. That'd be the first thing. Second thing is I run 2 of the thinner dimension seat cushions. Now when you buy it stock, it'll come with 1 thick one. You can also buy these as accessories, but I like to run 2 because I actually slide a few pieces of gear in between the seats, and I think it's got a little bit more comfort with those 2 thinner pads. So I run it like that with 2 seats. As you can see here, I got a little bit of a paracord thing going on. I just was messing around with some things, and that keeps the outside perimeter more secure for when I do store some of my flatter gear inside, which I'll go through later. Second thing, hands down, definite must-have for me is these accessory straps. So these things are awesome. You can get these on the Lone Wolf website as well. It's just a double looped accessory strap, very lightweight, lightweight aluminum buckles, and I run these on both the bottom and the top of my seat just to be able to strap more things and utilize them. So for instance, these 2 on the bottom, and I'll cut these to length. So I usually cut them about this big. So this is big enough to where I can put late season bibs in there. I can put an extra coat. But my primary function for these 2 straps is actually my camera arm. So for my filming, this sits right under my seat now, and I can fasten it right there, and that my camera arm now lives under my seat, and it's out of the way. It doesn't interfere with anything else I do. A lot of times I'll put like my down vest under there too, just small things that I don't want to take up any room in my pack, or if I'm not taking a pack. So and the top strap, I do the same thing. I usually put 1 across. Sometimes I'll do 2, whatever I'm feeling. This one I leave a little bigger. And this you can really use to fasten anything down as well. So when this stand is in the transport position, now, so as you can see, your camera arm down there, whatever you're storing down there, is very low profile and minimal. And then you have your whole seat to toss some extra gear on, you know. So if I want to throw my flannel here, I can just simply cinch it down and I'm good. Or even, you know, let's say I got a bunch of stuff going on or whatever I'm hauling, I can put as much gear as I want on here, cinch this strap down, and know that this is not going anywhere. So that's huge for me. So these straps are a must. So let's get back to, if you're not hauling anything on at the moment, the top strap actually you know works too. So I've put this up to get these tag ends out of the way, and you can very simply minimize the hanging straps. So another thing I do too, all of our seats come with an accessory hook that is actually built into the design of the seat that is right in the corner of your stand. Now this is used to be able to hang things that you want readily available, like a grunt tube or binoculars or anything like that. Those I actually take a pliers and I bend them out pretty substantially, about another ½ inch. So what I'm really trying to do there is just bend that out a little bit more so I can hang more substantial items on it, like my pack or my jacket. And I also run a little bit of like hockey tape or a fabric tape on there. Another thing you'll see that is a little different is this right here. This is a simple hook from like a hardware store. I run that over the stand. It doesn't go anywhere, and it acts as another point on the side of my stand that I can use to hang some of my gear. I don't like to put anything in the tree. Typically, I don't use screw-ins, only if I really have to. I don't want to have to strap anything additional to the tree. I'm already strapping my camera arm there, so I don't want to have to do anything else. So most times, actually every time, I will hang my backpack or my bag or anything I'm running right off of the side on these hooks. So you can use the hook that comes with it. or you can use this extra one that I put there. So I might hang my backpack on that one, but let's say, you know, I want to also have my binos out and I'm not wearing them in this particular instance, I can hang those right here too. And the great thing about these accessory hooks is that they're designed to where when you put your tree stand seat up, you never have to worry about them. They're always at your side. I'm a big advocate in as minimal movement as possible. So the more you can keep your things by your side, less movement, the better. Not having to reach up and grab things or reach around. So that's those hooks. As you can see here, I do have a little safety, a little just in case bow holder right here that is lanyard with a simple little piece of paracord to my seat. It lives on the stand in case for some reason I get into a situation where I can't run my sidekick bow holders. I will use that. So that's another thing. We'll get into that those little pieces of gear later as well. Okay, I think that's it for the seat. The next biggest thing by far, probably equally as big, I gotta take that back, is going to be our sidekicks. So sidekick bow holder is a must. And not only for me is one a must, but I need two, at least two. Everything I'm showing you today is like the bare minimum of what I would do to my custom setup. So, and I'm gonna go through in a tree and I'll show you how these bow holders work and how I have them set up. But for a quick overview, I install one on each side of the stand. So one on the right side, one on the left side. And I install those in opposite orientations. So the bow holder on the right side of my stand is set up to have my bow facing forward, and the bow holder on the left side of my stand is set up to have my bow facing back. Now I do this just so I can be completely dialed in no matter what the setup dictates. When I get my stand in the tree, if I have to be looking the other way and anticipating a shot over my left side, I'll use this one. Vice versa, on the right side, I use that one. Sometimes I will actually even throw a third bow holder on the seat, and that way I can have that bow really close to me when I'm sitting down, but I wouldn't say that's a must. That's just an extra addition. So we'll go over those again in a little bit. As you can see here, I do utilize quite a bit of fabric tape and our silent touch tape. So I love the silent touch tape for main contact points like this bottom here. A nice piece of that right there buffers any noise of anything I put under my seat. I do the same thing on the back beam of the stand right here. This is where our sticks are going to sit. I also do it in those little double nesting pads right there. And then as far as the fabric tape, I do that in other high traffic areas on the stand, I guess you'd call them. I put them on my tabs that go into the frame pack feature. And then I also, this is something that I try and preach at the road shows too, but I tape my straps so they are permanently on my stand or sticks. That way I never lose them. They're always on, and I can still use the Versa function. I can spin it around if I need to and go the opposite way. But that way I know they'll always be there. This is actually a super old strap. This is from the 90s and I still use it. Every new stand I set up, I take this strap and I put it on that new stand, the primary stand that I'm using. So backpack straps are a huge thing. So these right here are the standard issue, our new upgraded straps that come with any one of your DeQuisto series stands. They got the load lifters built in, they got the D-rings up here, sternum strap. They're a really nice all-around versatile strap. Now, the add-on for me though is definitely the waist support. So I am 100% every time running the waist support. I just want to get that weight off my shoulders as much as humanly possible. Even though we're talking about lightweight stands and lightweight gear, day in and day out, over the course of an entire season, scouting every day, multiple sets, like I need a little bit more comfort on my shoulders. Got some neck issues, so the waist strap is just a hands down must have for me. It's really nice. You can customize that a little bit and you can run your backpack strap and integrate it with it or independently to the stand. So this is a must. And you know, when I set these up, I immediately get rid of all the extra adjustments that we give for bigger dudes. So I set it up to me and I give myself a little adjustment with the load lifter. I cut off the excess strap, as you can see, put a little piece of fabric tape on there, and I am good to go. Same thing with the waist belt. I give myself a little bit of adjustment for late season when I'm bulking up in clothes, and then I cut the rest off. So everything is as streamlined as it can get with those backpack straps. Okay, I think lastly on the stand portion, I typically do something in some way, shape, or form to make strapping gear on a little bit easier. And this is a little prototype thing I've been working on for a while, but as you can see here, I have a piece of loose paracord that is permanently wrapped around one side, and then on the other side I have a little gear mechanism. This allows me to very quickly and simply strap on large bulky gear very quick. So once I get my stand kind of set up, if I was going to strap something, let's say I was going to strap this, or I wanted to strap my flannel on top of that, I simply got that nice little piece of cord, and within seconds it's strapped in. So this might be a product you see here real soon in the custom gear line, but this is another thing. If I didn't have this paracord, which sometimes I don't, I would take another one of those accessory straps and I would run it from one end with the buckle end on the other, and then that way you can just simply pull it through, just cut the end off so it's easy to push through and push out, and then you can simply have a nice strap to cinch down every time. Okay, so here we have a set of the micro doubles. Now, all last year I ran a prototype pair of these sticks. So this right here is a little different than you'll see the new ones look like. They're prototypes as well, but I don't actually have any of the new badass looking ones because we sent them all to customers. So these are what I'm running right now. I'll probably swap out for a legit production pair when we have more in stock, but this is what I'm running. This is the micro double. This is the micro half-inch cam straps that, or not cam straps, but straps that come with the sticks. And then I'm running a custom 22-inch webbing aider. So we do have these webbing aiders coming. They will be able to you'll be able to purchase them in multiple sizes for these sticks or the old sticks or anything. They work with all the designs. So these two sticks here, pretty simple, self-explanatory. I've done videos on how to run all this stuff and kind of button it up on the micro double page, which I'll link in the description. And the awesome thing about these is really there's not a whole lot of customization. So that was really the big thing this year in designing these and the V2s is, okay, what can we do to minimize? The only thing you'll see on these sticks that is above stock that I'll be running this year is a little bit of Slayer tape right there, the Silent Touch tape, and then I have a little in between the sticks. Not too much. I don't want to affect the rate at which these stack together, but everything is designed so that your belt, if you run it like this, kind of buffers all the contact points. And then I run these aiders and I simply strap them, I simply loop them around, and that's how they'll go onto my stand. Not too much there. If anything, I might go overboard and take some fabric tape and just maybe hit a few more contact points. Maybe a little bit up here or in the standoff bolt, but I took care of that on my stand, so that's not really a big issue. So typically I'll lock those in, and then I will, if I'm running the pack, I'll throw my pack right over it. My flannel would probably be on that as well, and then I'm just cinching it all down. And there you have it. Oh, forgot the camera on. Yeah, these accessory straps are just insane. So nice. Okay. Let's go get this thing on a tree and I'll show you those bow holders. Okay guys, as you can see here, So this is how I'd have my stand set up. This bow holder on the right side is going to hold my bow perfectly on the right side of my stand, and it's going to be facing this way, right? So that way, arrow nocked, if I'm anticipating a shot, I can simply slide it out, shoot that direction. My bow holder on the other side is installed the opposite way. So for this instance, if I'm standing up in the tree and I'm anticipating my shot to come from this direction, or if I'm standing or using the tree as cover, I can use this bow holder instead of the other. So I always like to have those two options for sure. And the nice thing about these two is you can pivot these and kind of customize where you want that bow to go as well. So right here we got a close-up of our sidekick, and this is a little different than your typical sidekick that you'd see. These are fully customized for a traditional bow. I cut them down quite a bit and really made it to where it was a lot more stable with such a light type of bow. And I'll show you what I did here closer. So our sidekicks come standard with a pretty long arm on them. Now that's to accommodate for all sorts of a lot of these different compound bows nowadays. So there's tons of different size limbs, and they can be pretty fat. So, and they're also heavy. You know, they got a really good amount of weight to them. And the sidekicks will come with shims as well as limb retainment O-rings, right? So, and there's grooves in the sidekick that you can place those to really kind of nestle your bow based off of your limb type, whether it's split limb and the pitch of your bow. So you can make it sit at whatever angle you want. So with traditional bows being so light, obviously, and very thin profile limb, with such a long arm in windy days with good gusts, like I would actually have, sometimes my my bow would start leaning like it was going to fall right out of the bow holder. So I didn't want that happening. So I went and I cut down the arm, probably took a good 3 inches off of it, but I cut it down to where it was just bigger than the actual limb itself. And then I slid my retainment grommets, and I put a little piece of Silent Touch tape on the inside of it, right? So now I I tilt my bow in and slide it all the way until the limb actually hits the sidekick itself, and then let it sit down. And that O-ring is right there hugging the limb. So that way it keeps the traditional bow a lot more solid and secure in the bow holder. All right, guys, there it is. There you have it. That is my setup, my stand and sticks for this year that I'm running, with all my modifications and little bells and whistles. If any of you guys are looking to pick up any of these products or deck out your rig to match this, you can find the links in the description. I'll link all those things there back to the Custom Gear website and whatever else I'm using. I know what you're thinking. Questions about the pack, questions about the camera arm, film stuff, all that. It's coming in a later video. So in the next couple videos, I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to do the pack, and we're going to completely dump that thing out. Everything that's in the backpack or the chest rig. We're also going to do clothing. So we got a lot more coming. Hope you guys dug this video. If there's any other things you guys want to see, questions you got for me, whitetail tactics, more gear stuff, leave it in the comments below, and I'll put it on the list and do a video this season. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching and following along with the Dying Breed Bowhunter YouTube page. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Actually looks like a pretty hot spot in here.